All right. Hey friends, welcome to another live video here. Just got to check a few things to make sure everything is working correctly. Super excited that y'all are joining us today. We'll wait for a few more people here to chime in, and then we'll go ahead and get this party started here. So super excited that you guys are here joining us today. One second, gotta change a few things here. All right, guys, let me go ahead and share one quick little deal here real quick so that we can get everything rocking and rolling. So pardon me for a second here while I get a few fine details out of the way here. Let's see here. Let me change it here. Okay, copy that. All right, guys, we are going to be talking about pricing today. So if you guys have any pricing questions at all, make sure you drop those in the comment section right now. We're going to be getting to those here in a second. I'm just sharing this in a few different places here. All righty, let's get on over here. Okay, guys. All right. Everything's set. Everything's figured out. Glad you guys are here. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, there's a few fine details to get figured out. All right, guys. So welcome. If you guys are brand new to these lives, I want to say welcome. These lives are part of my business coaching program that I do. I am a handyman business coach, so that's what I do day to day. Is I help handyman businesses get started, get running, and get growing. We have a in-depth coaching program where we help handymen learn how to actually grow their business with employees. I also run my own handyman business. I started up my handyman business back in 2016. So this is actually our truck. You can see here in the background, this is one of our vans working at a client's house. So that's a little bit about who I am. My name's Alan Lee. I live here in, I say Sacramento, California, but I'm actually in Roseville, California, which is a couple towns out of Sacramento. If you're brand new, go ahead and drop in the comment section right now, who you are, what your name is, where you're located, and how long you've been in business. I would absolutely love to hear it. We'll be hopping into a few questions here shortly. So super excited to jump into this. So I'm going to start off by answering a couple questions here, and then we'll be digging into some of the actual content that was planned for today. Okay. Roberto Salazar Jr., he commented a little bit earlier. He said, how is it going with commercial clients and how are you getting them? So he's referring to one of our past videos that we made. We made that video maybe a month, 2-3 months ago. I don't know, time's flying. Once you have 3 kids, man, time just starts flying. So that's what he's referring to. So he is saying that how are we getting them and how is it coming by getting them? So we started up a new campaign to get commercial clients. We created folders with a whole bunch of information, different forms and things like that that would give people information about who we were and what kind of work we did. And then on the other side, it also has our W-9 and our insurance, certificate of insurance with our business card and everything like that. In a nice folder with our logo on the front so that I walk into commercial clients, meet with their manager and give that to them so that hopefully we stay top of mind to them. That's at least the goal. And then we follow up with them every month to see if they need work. The whole thought behind that is the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So we're going to keep calling them every month, touching base with them, seeing how things are going. Long story short, it's going good, but it could be doing better. It's something that I'm going to be getting deeper into here shortly. Is following up with all of those commercial clients. We've gone out and we've given those folders to probably maybe 20 different commercial clients. Right now, we're focusing on veterinary clinics, just because we had been doing a lot of work for vets, for vet clinics. So we decided that that'd be a great place to start. So I went around to about 20 of those. There's still a whole bunch in our area that I could go to. I have given them pamphlets. I've followed up with a few of them. I need to follow up with all of them probably again, but we have not yet landed a job from those brochures. But what we have done is we've gone out to a lot of commercial clients that call us the first time, and when they call us out for the estimate, I give them that folder, and then they end up hiring us, for a bunch of other stuff, and they have all of our information for hopefully a prolonged effort. So it hasn't been going on very long, so I don't have a whole lot of details as far as how things have been working and things like that yet, but it's coming. So, and then his other question was, you had said that you were building a CRM. Give us an update, please. So yes, Jason Call and we are working on a CRM for Handyman, built by Handyman. So I'm super stoked about it, actually. I'm hoping that it comes out later this year. There's no promises at this time, as far as we don't have any firm launch date, but it's gonna be really robust. It's gonna be what a handyman needs in a CRM, basically targeting handyman business owners that make less than $500,000 in annual revenue and have 1 to 5 employees. So that's going to be the main target for it. But I'm super stoked about it. So there's more information to come. If you want to sign up to get more information for that, you could go to handymanchampion.com, and you can sign up there to get some more information as the more information comes out. So handymanchampion.com, you can check that out there. I'm going to check on a few other things real quick here while we have a lull in this. So I'm just going to make sure that we have all of the information out there that we need to get out there. All right. And then moving on down here, we had Bobby Mendez in the house from Cape Coral Handyman out of Florida. What's up, Bobby? I'm glad you're here, Bobby. Let's see here. We had Ryan. He said, I feel things in Utah have slowed down a bit as far as handyman and remodel work, hoping it's just temporary. He also said, anyone else feel that way about their city? He's in Salt Lake City, Utah. Yes, so things have slowed down. I mean, to be honest, things are definitely a lot slower in our business than they have been in the past. What I'm noticing is there's a lot of people really nitpicking prices. There's a lot of people asking for additional discounts and things like that. I think that whatever's going on in the world, I mean, we all watch the same news. I try and stay away from the news, to be honest, but there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of people are unsettled. A lot of people don't know what to think yet, because this administration is still new. They're still mixing up some stuff, getting rid of some waste, some fraud, things like that. So I personally think that it's going to be better than what people think on the outcome. But we do have to go through kind of a hardship. I mean, our president said it himself that we are going to have to go through a decline there. You got to go through the valley to get to the mountaintop. So I think that's currently what we're in. I think we're in the valley. We're still heading down a little bit. So things aren't as bad as probably they will be, but hang in there. And marketing is something that we're going to cover here in a few weeks. We're going to do these live videos every week, hopefully every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can mark this on your calendar. So marketing is one thing that we're going to cover more, but you have to rely both on internet marketing and just relational marketing. Shaking hands, kissing babies, right? That's really what it's all about. So if you are only busy for 20 hours in your business, like if you only have enough handyman work to keep you busy for 20 hours, that means you need to devote the other 20 hours in the week to marketing. That's what you should be devoting your time to. So do whatever you need to do to get your name out there. Marketing is really about reputation. So how can you build reputation in your community that you are the go-to guy, and really that, hey, times are tough, right? But I'm the guy that is going to do high quality work for you, and I'm going to stick around where if you need me 5 years from now, you give me a call. I will be here, right? That's the type of reputation that we focus on building, and that's the type of reputation I would recommend you to build. So it is hard right now. It's hard out there right now, but that's kind of the way it is, and it's a slump that we got to work through, and we got to keep finding finding the work out there. Richard McGuire's in the house. What's up, Richard? Glad to see you here. And Steve, Maui Steve is in the house. Let's see here. Josiah says, new here, Josiah with All-Star Handyman. I am out of Roseville, Minnesota. Been going 2 full years now. Awesome, Josiah. That's cool, man. I'm from Roseville too. You're from Roseville as well, but totally different states. So glad to have you here. Super excited that you're here and excited for you to join us. JK NoCal, good afternoon from San Diego, California. Welcome, man. And then Isaac Wolf is from Manitoba, Canada, eh? Welcome all the way from Canada, man. Glad to have you here. Christopher Godwin, owner of Laser Focus Solution out of Delaware, DE. I assume that's Delaware. JK NoCal says, I've gotten, I'll bring his comment here up on stage here. I've gotten 800 clients all from Craigslist in the last 5 years. I'm a firm believer in Craigslist. I think that's a perfectly good way to do it. I think you have to judge your personal marketplace. It's different no matter where you are. Some places Craigslist will work great for you. Some places Craigslist won't. I think that's a very good thing, and I'm glad that's working for you. We got Jason here. What's up, Jason? With Jay's Door and Trim, Southwest Virginia. What's up, Jay? Glad to see you here, brother. Yeah, so Ryan says, folks are just tightening their pocket for a moment, so I plan to advertise a bit and stay creative in my marketing efforts. I think that's spot on. People are just tightening up their pockets, and I think that's a good way to look at it for a moment. You have to remember, man, the market is up and down all the time, right? The downs may last a little bit longer than they have in the past. The ups may last a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than they have in the past. It's just how it goes. What's down today might be up tomorrow. What's up tomorrow might be down the next day. That's just how it goes. And I think that's an important mindset that you need to keep for yourself is a long-term mindset. We're not just in it for today. We're in it, like, that's what reputation is. Reputation is not about just making the sale today, but it's how can I make the sale today, tomorrow, or the next day, but also have a client that's going to call me 5 years from now when they need a new, their deck replaced or whatever it is. So I think that's a great mindset to keep your mindset focused on, hey, they're just tightening up their pockets for a moment, right? So I love it. He also says that Craigslist is how he started. That's awesome. The ADHD Handyman, I love it. ADHD Handyman. Jason here from Appleton, Wisconsin, 5 years on my own. I love your name, ADHD Handyman, because it's so funny because I believe that there are common traits in a handyman, right? We love just to fix things. We love to tinker. We love to figure out what's wrong. But I also think a lot of us have ADHD. So I think that's awesome. That's a really cool name. Josiah says, could you talk about how you set up your first employee to take calls and contact customers? Did they have experience in the industry, or what did you have them do? Did they write up estimates, etc.? Yeah, Josiah, that's a great topic. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's hear from the viewers here. What would you guys like to talk about tonight? Do you guys want to talk about my first employee, my CSR? I'd love to chat about that. Or do you want to talk about pricing? I had it on the docket to talk about pricing today, but I'm an open book. I can shift right away. Drop me a comment in the comment section below. The more comments we get, the better off we will be able to decide what you guys want to hear about. So drop it in the comments. Do you want to hear about the first employee, or do you want to hear about pricing and how to go about pricing and figure things like that out? And don't worry, we're going to be doing these calls every single Monday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if we don't get to something today, we will get to it next week. And if you guys ever want to dig deeper into this, we have a coaching program called the Handyman Academy Coaching Program. And we dig deep into topics just like this, like actually deeper than what we have the ability to do here on Facebook Live. We're actually having our next Handyman Academy group coaching call tomorrow, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are at all interested in going deeper, learning more about specifically, like Josiah is asking here, if you're you're specifically interested in learning more about employees and things like that, that Handyman Academy would be an excellent place for you to learn more. Right now, you can sign up for the Handyman Academy. You can go to the website, handymanjourney.com/join or /coaching, and get some more information on that. Because there's a lot more about employees than what I could tell you here on a Facebook Live video. But I will do my best to share with you all the knowledge that I have. I'll share with you my wins, my losses, but my first employee has been, it's been an awesome journey. Okay. Isaiah Wolf says, I'd like to know how to price. I just started a few months ago, part-time. Okay. Ryan says, first employee. JK NoCal says, hiring an employee is my biggest concern for sure. I love it, guys. Okay. So it sounds like we're going to be talking about my first employee, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with my first employee. Isaiah Wolf, one recommendation I would have for you. Well, actually, two recommendations. I would recommend 2 books to you. I'll actually get them for you right here. So I'd recommend 2 books for you, Isaac. Isaac here is number 1 would be the Handyman Freedom Formula, and this is all about mindset and company culture. So this book is a book that I wrote last year that will really gear your mind towards creating a handyman business that's sustainable and having the mindset that looks forward and not just at what's going on today. Another book that I'd recommend for you is the Handyman Pricing Handbook. This is a book that I wrote, I think it's been 4 years ago now. I'm actually working on the updated version of that. That'll hopefully be coming out later this year. But I'd recommend that book because that gives you the complete breakdown of pricing for your handyman business. So I would highly recommend that. Okay, let's see here, guys. Okay, so let's see here. We got ADHD in the house. My logo is a friggin' squirrel, a friggin' laser beam on its friggin' head. Oh, that is a squirrel with a laser beam on his head. That is your logo. That's amazing. I love it. Okay. Ryan says, I've been doing handyman work on my own for 5 years and am at the point of expand or die. So time to expand. And Ryan, I would highly recommend you check out the Handyman Academy. Again, go to handymanjourney.com/coaching. You could set up a call with me. I'd love to chat with you and tell you what it's all about. But that coaching program has helped a lot of people grow their business, create the systems and processes that are needed to hire employees. Let's talk a little bit about that tonight. Let's talk about my first employee. Okay, so we started up our business in 2016, in August of 2016, and we hired our first handyman employee, W-2 employee, in April of 2019. So April 1st, 2019, and we hired a gal named April. On April 1st, we hired April. April, man, she is a godsend. I will tell you what. We got so blessed finding her, and it's a God story of how we found her, really. We'll go into that at another time, but God totally had a hand on us and her and just connecting us at the time when we needed her. So she actually just celebrated her 6-year anniversary with our company here on April 1st, 2025. So just a couple days ago. She's absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it. So we hired her as our CSR, which is a customer service relations personnel, and absolutely fantastic. So when we hired her, basically what I did is I had just read the book, the E-Myth Revisited. If you're interested in hiring an employee, I would highly recommend you read the book, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. So read that book, sign up for the Handyman Academy. That should get you on the right track for growing your handyman business. I just read that book, and it's all about creating systems, processes, documenting, everything you do. So I just documented all the work that I do in the CSR role while I was wearing that CSR hat. And we hired her, and we handed everything over to her. We handed her the scripts, we handed her the main office email, we handed her the main office phone number, everything like that. And she is completely 100% in charge of intaking new clients. So she answers all the new phone calls, she answers all the emails, she answers all the Yelp requests, she answers all the Google requests. And then she also follows up with people afterwards. She has since kind of expanded her role just because she's so fantastic. And so she started actually estimating small jobs, what we call our C-Tech jobs. So things like replacing ceiling fans or light fixtures or kitchen faucets or things like that we have set prices for. She sells those jobs, and she will actually book them on our calendar and it's just absolutely fantastic. So you need to get someone like that that will excel in what they're doing, but then also grow in it, and absolutely fantastic. Like I said, April was a godsend, and she is a godsend. So I don't know the exact formula of finding that exact person because they're very rare. We have interviewed so many people over the course of the last 8 years. We have interviewed, oh man, tons and tons and tons of people, and we've hired a few, and we fired a few. Right? There's a lot of people out there looking for work, and not a lot of them are good. Right? And that's the hard part about all of this is you have to find the right people because we have a certain integrity, a certain honesty, a certain friendly neighborhood handyman approach that we try and uphold. And finding people that uphold that is very, very hard. Although there are a lot of things that you can do to help narrow that down. And it's really with being very picky, very selective, creating marketing funnels in your advertising so that you only attract these type of people. You attract way less people, but you only attract the right people that you want to attract. So there are a lot of things that I've figured out over the last 8 years that have helped me in that. And if you're interested in learning just that, like I said, what I'd recommend is the Handyman Academy. That is a monthly subscription that you can go in. It has all of my courses. We meet up twice a month on there. We talk about business. We talk about growing. We talk about things like that. I'd recommend that. But if you're looking for just a one-off kind of, hey, Alan, I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want the hiring information. We have a hiring bundle. I'll put that link in the description below. I think it's like $129, one-off price, but it'll walk you through everything from creating like your ad copy of how to find the right person, all the way through to creating the having the onboarding documents. We give you all the onboarding documents you ever need. So we talk about all the tax implications and all the forms that you need to fill out, and then we talk about the onboarding process and things like that. I'll drop a link in that below, but you can definitely check that out. The Academy comes with all of that information, but if you want just that one-off thing, I have made that available to you. So April is absolutely fantastic. And as I finish up talking about kind of her role, if you guys have any questions about that particular role, the CSR role, I would love you to drop that in the comment section below so that we can get to those, so that I can answer those here in a timely manner. So basically our CSR handles all of that intaking stuff. And what that did for me and how I came to the conclusion that I needed to hire a CSR was I was so busy working. I had a great problem. I had so many people calling me, and I was so busy with the work. I was booked out for about 2 months. I remember one time I was booked out for 2 months. And I remember one day in particular, I was just so busy that day. And I don't even remember what I was doing. I was fixing a deck or something like that. And my phone's just blowing up all day. And I'm not answering. I'm just silent, 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 silent. I'm just not answering because I don't have time. I'm doing the work, right? And then at the end of the day, I look at all my voicemails and I'm like, oh, I got like 16 voicemails. Like, I've already worked late. I need to get home. I need to eat dinner. Like, this is just crazy. So I didn't return any of those calls. I remember that exact day. I remember who I was working for too. I was working for Shelly Albury too. So it's kind of funny the memories that are in your mind. And then the next day can come up and I'm busy working. I totally forgot about that day. Busy working. Next day I'm busy working. Next day I'm busy working. And then about 2 weeks later, oh man, all those voicemails that have in the days since too have just built up, and I haven't gotten back to them. I'm like, man, I really don't want to get back to those people because I'm kind of like embarrassed now because I haven't gotten back to them in 2 weeks, and now I'm gonna call them up and be like, oh, sorry, I forgot to call you back. Like I didn't want to like eat the crow, and so I ended up not calling them back. 2 weeks later go by. They're still in the back of my mind, and I'm like, I can't call them back now. It's been too long, right? And then one day I was sitting on Facebook and I was scrolling through comments, and someone had posted in the local Facebook group, hey, I need a handyman. And someone commented in there, hey, call Honestly Handyman. This guy's great. And then someone replied to that person and they said, don't call Honestly Handyman. He doesn't call you back. And I'm like, like it was a shot in the gut because I had a comment on Facebook of someone recommending me and then someone else commenting and saying, no, don't call him. He doesn't call you back. And there was nothing I could do at that point other than in my own mind be like, they're right. There's no reason why someone should call me because I'm not going to call them back. I'm booked out for 2 months. I'm not calling anyone back. I can't call anyone back. And I'm like, I got to do something about this. I got to do something about this. And it was that night that I ordered the E-Myth Revisited. I actually got it on CD and I put it in my truck and I listened to it on my way home from work and my way back from work. And it took me a little while to listen to the whole thing, but I listened to it and it gave me the framework for creating systems and processes. It didn't really make sense to me in the handyman realm, so I had to do some figuring and some adjusting and things like that to make what Michael Gerber was talking about fit into the handyman industry. And that's kind of what I teach people on. But that was really the birth of this CSR movement. Was like, man, I don't have time to answer the phone, and I need to hire someone to answer the phone so that so my reputation doesn't go down the toilet, because that's what was going on at that point. So thus, started creating systems and processes and scripts and documents. And then because of God, because of God, we found April, and we were able to get April, and it was just so perfect because her husband was about to retire. She had been a stay-at-home mom and homeschooled her kids all her life, and she was looking for a part-time job to work from home so that she could be with her husband that's about to retire. And I'm like, that's perfect, like, because we don't have an office, but we need someone to work for us. And we'd love to do it part-time because I don't know how employees work, and I don't know if I could pay you. And again, if you guys have any questions about the CSR, drop them in the comment section below. I would love to answer them, because oftentimes, if you have a question, oftentimes many other people have that exact same question. They're just too nervous to ask the question. So I would ask you to be brave enough to ask me that question so that we can help people out, because other people have that same question, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help people, and you have the question that is going to help people. So I would appreciate you asking the question. Okay, so we hired April, and I remember when I gave her the laptop with the email on it and our phone number, I'm like, here you go. It's your problem now. I think I said that. I probably shouldn't have said that, because that's a bad way of looking at it. But my mindset was in the dumps at that point, because I was like so fed up, because I'm like, I really want to help these people out, but I can't. I felt horrible. I just felt so horrible because I couldn't help these people out. And it was a headache of mine, right? But, they say, find out what your headache is, find out what you suck at, and hire someone to do that job. That's how you advance in business, right? So that's the whole premise of it. And it was like, it was a blessing to give that to her. And she has taken it and she has run with it and she has flourished with it these last 6 years that she's been with us. And another cool thing, oh man, I want to share this. So our mission is to provide hope. That's our overarching mission. And one way that we provide hope is we provide hope for a better community. And we believe strongly in helping people out that don't have a voice in their circumstance. So we partner with an organization called Agape International Ministry. And they do work all around the world. I think they started out in Cambodia, but now they're doing some work in the United States. And they save kids out of human trafficking. And if you don't know, there's actually more people in slavery today than there has ever been in history at one point in time. So over the last 6 years, we tallied it up. Over the last 6 years that April's been with us, guess how many kids we have freed from the, I'm trying not to use any triggering words that would get me kicked off of Facebook or YouTube. Guess how many kids that we freed from the human trafficking industry in the last 6 years? Go ahead and drop me a comment in the comment section below. Guess how many kids that our company has helped free from the human trafficking industry in the last 6 years. We tallied it up and I wrote it in a card to April and I sent it off. I was super stoked to hear it, but very excited. So, Okay, I'm going to answer some questions while you guys are guessing how many kids we have freed from the human trafficking industry in the last 6 years. It's crazy because it blows my mind because we're not just changing faucets. We're literally changing the world one faucet at a time. It's so crazy. We donate 10% of our proceeds to help free kids from the human trafficking. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. We got some questions here. Laser Focus Solutions says, nice. Everyone needs an April. I had a virtual assistant after I tried to hire W2 in-house and it didn't work out. Ryan says, how much experience in the industry would you expect from a CSR? That's a very interesting question. So April did not have any experience in the construction industry. And people would say, well, how the heck is she working for a handyman company? It's all in the systems and the processes. If you read the book, The E-Myth Revisited, it's he uses the story of McDonald's, right? When Ray Kroc bought McDonald's, he turned it into a super business that you could hire any high schooler to do, and you would get the same hamburger in Palm Beach, Florida, than you would in Sacramento, California. You get the same hamburger, right? It's made the same way. It's made with the same amount of mustard, all that stuff, right? And it's all in the systems and the processes. So really the key to this is creating the scripts, the systems, processes, documents, the scripts that a CSR can follow so that they know exactly, okay, what zip codes do you operate in? What type of work do you do? What type of work do you not do? It's a very tedious document. It dictates every little thing that you do and every little thing that you do not do, so that a CSR can have the most information that they need. And if there's ever a question they can't answer, just send it over to the estimator at this point. Back then it was me, but now send it over to the estimator. They can answer your questions. No big deal. So they don't really have to have as much experience as you think. Great question, Ryan. Okay, let's see here. Sean H says, have you thought of doing DIY videos? There's a much bigger market for them than handyman business tutorials. Yes. So Sean, I have done a lot of DIY videos and I have a lot of them on my channel, but it's something that I want to get more into. But to be honest, I feel like God has called me to the handyman industry. I'm not necessarily in it for a marketplace, right? Or to make more money. Maybe in the past I have, like God has definitely done a lot in my head, but I feel like the calling is to business owners specifically. And that's who I want to help. So I understand that there's a bigger marketplace for DIY videos. And I will continue to make those, but overall business tutorials and helping people with that is more of what I feel God calling me to do. David says that's a good testimony. Yeah, it is. Amen. Okay, so now let's get into some fun stuff. Okay, Josiah says he guesses 12. We're talking about how many kids have we freed from the human trafficking industry in the last 6 years. Okay, Josiah says 12. Ryan says 2,000. David Zim says 150. Sean says that's awesome that you help people. Isaac guessed 50. Laser Focus says 32. JK NoCal says 10,000 kids. These are all fantastic questions. So the correct answer is 78 kids. Over the last 6 years, we have freed 78 kids that we will probably never meet out of the human trafficking industry, right? And that blows my mind. These are kids that we're never going to meet. They're probably never going to meet us, but we have changed their lives forever. And it's not just us, it's our clients. Our clients may not even have an interest in, this ministry that we're doing, but they are literally partnering with us on every dollar that they give us to free kids. It blows my mind, and it really brings joy to me that we are making such an impact and such a difference. And what I said to our CSR when I wrote her that note for her 6-year work anniversary is that we couldn't have done this without you. We couldn't have done it without you, because without her, without our CSR, I would still be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, not answering phone calls. I would have a crappy reputation, and I probably wouldn't get very many calls. So I probably would be out of business right now. That's how it is, So it just blows my mind. Let's see here. Roberto says, did you answer my pre-live question without me getting here? Yes, I did. Question was, how is the commercial jobs coming, and how are you getting them? And you are making a CRM update on that, please. Yes, Roberto, I did answer your question without you being here. Sorry about that. The commercial clients are going great. We have created folders. You can check out. I have a video about that. I'll try and post that in the comment section after the video here. We do have a video on the folders and what's in them, and that's what we bring to the commercial clients, and we follow up with them on a monthly basis. And we are creating a CRM built by Handyman for Handyman. So check out handymanchampion.com to get more information on that. So hopefully that'll be coming here pretty shortly. Anyone got any other questions? You guys are coming out with some great questions tonight, and I really appreciate that. I have about 5-10 minutes left here, but if anyone has any questions for me, I would absolutely love to take them and answer them. That's what I'm here for. I really, like I said earlier, I really feel called to the handyman industry. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Right now, if we don't get to them today, we'll definitely get to them next week and the weeks following. Again, every Monday, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube. I also tried to do a live in the Handyman Journey Facebook group, but there's some issue with that. I'm going to try and get that figured out next week. But on YouTube for sure, and my main Facebook page. So Rick says, what level of experience do you suggest when starting handyman service business? So I imagine that question is, what experience should you have? I recommend a general knowledge and understanding of how things work. I think that's the biggest thing. You don't have to know everything. I shared a story on last week's live video. If you haven't looked at that, go back to last week. It's on YouTube. I shared an interesting story of my very first day as a full-time handyman, and I didn't know what a ballast was. And I was up in the attic of the client's house watching a YouTube video to learn what a ballast was and how it works and how to bypass it. You don't have to know everything, but you should have a general understanding of how to figure stuff out. You don't want to get into a pickle where you're like, I don't even know where to go with that, right? Like, true wisdom is not having all the answers, but it's knowing where to find the answers. And YouTube is even a great resource for that. You can find a lot of great information on YouTube. You can utilize that as you wish, but I would definitely recommend you having at least a general understanding of how things work and how to fix things if they go haywire. I think the biggest thing about that is figuring out how something works, right? How does something work? Because once you figure out how it's supposed to work, you can then reverse engineer it and diagnose it. Okay, what's wrong with it, right? If you take a clock, right, an old analog clock, how does an analog clock work, right? Well, maybe you don't fully know that. Maybe you can look it up on YouTube, and maybe you can then diagnose, like, okay, what's going on? How do I fix this thing? Handyman says, please do a Handyman mission trip conference on the East Coast. Handyman Nate, we are working on that. We really want to drop one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We were going to do that here in June, but we've encountered some snags with some mission organizations, just trying to get them to be able to house and accommodate all of us. I partner with a mission organization here on the West Coast that has all the accommodations, and that's what we did in January, and it went smoothly. So we're just trying to make a connection with someone similar to that on the East Coast. So if anyone has any information at all about that, reach out to me, because we would love to do a Handyman Missions Trip conference on the East Coast, because I think that was absolutely fantastic and very beneficial. So Mike here, Mike Kleisch, what's up, Mike? If you don't know Mike is one of the amazing moderators in the Handyman Journey Mastermind group. He keeps that ship running smooth with all of his fellow crewmates. So appreciate you, Mike. And Mike is also a very active member in our Handyman Academy and things like that. So his question is, how did April help you out if you were already 2 months out? Was it just more of letting people know you're booked out and seeing if they want to wait? Yeah, Mike, at the end of the day, yes, that's pretty much it. What April did at that point when I was 2 months out, basically just line of communication. Like, hey, Alan's pretty booked out, but he would love to come out and take a look at your job. So at that point, part of our marketing filter, our marketing funnel, which is talked about in the Handyman marketing handbook, was, you know, where are they located, right? That's the first step. If they're in our zip code or not, what type of work do they have? Is it too big for what we do, or is it the right size? And then the third one would be, are they willing to wait for us? So these are the exact questions that she would walk us through. Hey, where are you located? What type of work do you have? And hey, just want to let you know we're booked out for a month. Is that cool? And if they're not, that's fine. They can go somewhere else. But at least we have that communication and people understand that, hey, we're booked out for a month, right? Things have definitely changed. Down the road, sometimes we've been booked out for a month. Sometimes we've only been booked out for a week. Sometimes we've been booked out for 3 days. So that has ebbed and flowed, throughout the years. But yeah, basically seeing if people match our persona, because the majority of people that call you probably are not your ideal client, but you want to find those select few that are your ideal client. Just like hiring an employee, most people out there are probably not your ideal employee, but you want to find those right people, that are those few people that are your right employee. And if you don't call any of them back, you're never going to find anyone. So that's basically having someone on the phone able to answer their questions, and then connect them to me if they need it, right? Because some people that called might have been clients that we were at yesterday, and all of a sudden they had an emergency at their house and they needed to contact me, but I wasn't answering the phone. So then now she could get to me a lot sooner, because I would see she was calling me. So I'm like, okay, I got to answer this for sure. So great question, Mike. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. JK NoCal says the one thing that changed my handyman business permanently and for the better was sending bulk emails to all my clients weekly, showing pictures of current projects and asking if they need any work done. Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a very good one. That's something that we utilize Jason Call over at Handyman Marketing Pros to do for us. They send out, I think, monthly emails, like newsletters that keep our clients engaged and hearing from us and hearing about what we're doing. And we also share a lot about what we're doing in the missions aspect as well. But I think that's a really good thing. And that's another thing that, we use a CRM right now that we could do text blasts and email blasts. And I recommend those at least at the minimum of a monthly basis, just to keep on top of someone's mind. So that's great. Let's see here. That's a huge number of responses. Josiah says, how has the CSR position changed over the course of the years? I think April has learned more about our business and how I work personally and the mission that we want to provide to people. And I think she's adapted the CSR position to meet those needs. In one huge way is she came to me and she's like, hey, Alan, we're getting a lot of these small requests for like ceiling fans and light fixtures and faucets. And I have to send those over to the estimator, and then they have to wait to hear back from the estimator. Like, she's like, those are pretty simple. What if you kind of just created a price sheet for me, and then I could sell those jobs and then just book them without even having to bug the estimator, which was me at the time. And now we have a different estimator. And I'm like, that's an amazing idea. So so sometimes hiring people is just great for the fact that it gives you a different mind to think into your business. Someone else that's thinking and loving and caring about your business and your clients other than you is like a godsend. So that's how the CSR position has changed, where now she sells a lot of the smaller stuff. She doesn't even call us for those at all. And it's great. So that's probably the one main way that the CSR position has changed. It's still semi part-time. I mean, she works, I think, 30 hours a week right now. So she's definitely not working full time. But she's not working part-time either. So it adjusts too. Sometimes she's like, hey, Alan, I was wondering if I could get this day off or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We'll handle the phones, So it's very, very ebb and flow. We're very, easy with all of that. So pretty cool. So let's see here. JK NoCal says MailChimp is an app that helps send bulk email ads, change my income. Yeah, so MailChimp does a great job. Markate does that as well with the CRM, and so will Handyman Champion. I personally like using a CRM for all of that, just because it helps kind of keep everything smooth and in operation correctly. Roberto says, what is your process when you receive a job, and how do you know that you have all the correct materials? And do you order them? Do you pick them up after you order them? What exactly are your steps? So it's a great thought. Great question. These is another part of our systems and our processes and our documents and our scripts. Um, and basically, the way that we do it is we book out the week, and then typically at the end of the week or on Mondays or when have we order all the materials for the week and the jobs. We print out each job. We order the materials for the job, and then we attach the order form to that job work order for the technician or technician assistant, depending on the size of your operation, to go pick that stuff up from Home Depot. So everything's already there at the customer service counter for them to come pick up. So they're not having to waste their time running around the store trying to find things. Obviously, there are things that they have to handpick, but the majority of things we use often so we can go pick those up. So another huge thing that we try and do is we stick to smaller jobs. So we do, I wish right behind on our van here, right behind this door, if it was closed, you could see our service list right here. But you can't see that here. So we stick to small stuff: ceiling fans, light fixtures, faucets, garbage disposals, dishwashers, gates, pre-hung doors, attic ladders, right? Like stuff that we know the materials that we're going to need for. Here in this picture here, we're replacing this pre-hung door right here in this garage. And so that way the materials are very straightforward, right? There's not a whole lot of guessing in the materials. Obviously, there are jobs that come up where it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed that. And then the technician just has to go to the store and pick that up. Great question, though. Appreciate that. Rick says, any tips for generating estimates? Actually, generating, writing, sending, things like that, I would recommend a CRM. Right now, we use Markate. Markate CRM, it's Markate. They are kind of the lowest price. They have kind of virtually everything a handyman starting out needs. But like I said, me and Jason Call, we're working on creating our own handyman CRM called Handyman Champion. That's hopefully going to be coming out later in the year. You could go to handymanchampion.com for more information on that, with any news that we release on that. But definitely a CRM, invoicing estimating CRM is what you're going to want to focus on for generating estimates. Very helpful that way. JK NoCal says, what do you use to send bulk text messages? So we use Markate. Like I just said before, we use Markate CRM to send out bulk text messages, and it works fairly well. Markate charges quite a bit for that, and that's one thing that our CRM that's built for Handyman by Handyman is going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than that. So I'm excited for that. And then JK NoCal says, that's a great question. What does CRM stand for? That is a great question. Oftentimes there's a lot of jargon thrown out. It's like, what does that mean, right? But I commend you for asking that, because a lot of people won't ask those questions. And I think it's important that we do ask these even seemingly rudimentary questions. CRM stands for customer relations management software. So customer relations management, that's what CRM stands for. And it's all about managing your whole customer relation and things like that. So whereas CSR, right, is who we hired, that's our customer service personnel or customer service representative personnel. So that's who we hired. The CRM, don't get those too confused, is the customer relations management software. So appreciate that. Any other questions before we head out? I got to get going here. Just heard my kids and my wife get home. So I got to get rolling to start my real job as being a dad for the night. So any questions you guys got for tonight, I would absolutely love to hear it. If you guys want to keep chiming into this, if you guys like this kind of content, every Monday, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be here. And then also, I would encourage you guys to go over to our website, handymanjourney.com, and learn more about our coaching program. And also you can set up a free call with me, free 15-minute chat with me. We'd love to talk with you, about any questions that you might have. I'm a very open book, so you can give me a call and we can talk. And then also our coaching program, the Handyman Academy. You can get some more information on that if you're interested in hiring employees and things like that. That's over at handymanjourney.com/coaching. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll catch y'all on the next one. We'll see you next Monday. And if you join the Handyman Academy, or if you're already in it, we'll see you guys tomorrow, as we are having an awesome member spotlight about one of our members and how he how his workflow has changed since joining the Handyman Academy. He's gonna be sharing all his tips and secrets and things like that. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you on the flip side. As my wife's grandfather says, I'll see you in the funny papers.